Ulibarri off the box. Great drive, nice and safe. Scott Burtard. Another great drive. Ooh! Just left of that out of bounds. Burtard McCabe next. Starting on hole 1 of the second round of the 2011 Players Cup. Great drive. Doesn't quite make it past Guardian Cedar, and it is out of bounds.
Wow.
It's Mitch Sonderfan for his drive on hole 1.
Jeez, come on.
Very good.
Nice.
Here's Burtard McCabe trying to recover from an out of bounds, taking a penalty stroke on hole 1. Is he going to risk it and go for the basket? Now here, the OB is 20 feet from the basket. It's a beeline. Oh, and it hits a tree. We don't know if that is in or out, but I am guessing that it is out. Ulibarri for his 3. Hits the cage. McCabe taking another penalty stroke. Makes it. I believe for a 5. This is Scott Burtard. And Mitch Sonderfan to putt out for a push. Hole 1, round 2. Hole 2, the upshots. McCabe hits the basket. Here is Scott Burtard. Oh, good bid. Hits the chains. Mitch Sonderfan. Ulibarri, who is currently the only one poised to get a 2 on this hole. And he makes it. Ulibarri wins out the hole over Scott Burtard. Paul is the number 2 seed. All of these gentlemen are playing in the Disc Nation quadrant. Hole 2, the upshots. McCabe hits the basket. Here is Scott Burtard. Oh, good bid. Hits the chains. Mitch Sonderfan. Paul Ulibarri, who is currently the only one poised to get a 2 on this hole. And he makes it. Ulibarri wins out the hole over Scott Burtard. Paul is the number 2 seed. All of these gentlemen are playing in the Disc Nation quadrant. Here we are, hole 2. We have a push-push for McCabe and Sonderfan, and 1 stroke each for Paul and Scott. Hole 3. This hole is 717 feet. Is a straight with a dogleg right with some guardian trees. 717 feet. Mitch Sonderfan.
Come on, land right next to me. Not enough bush up to the left, that's for sure.
Hole 3. Well, Mitch just had a wonderful shot. Eric, unfortunately, for his 3rd shot, hit a tree, the small trees before the basket, and unfortunately did not make it on the green. So, unless he makes a big putt, looks like he is going to give 1 more point to Mitch Sonderfan. And here we have Scott Burtard making a safe, looks like a safe putt just to get under the basket. It's a good bid. And here is Eric. Okay, he has got to make this putt. Oh, and he just can't make it. Looks like he will concede this hole. Mitch Sonderfan, 2nd throw, hole 3. Big Anheuser makes it past the trees. Makes it past the trees. There's Eric McCabe, 2nd shot. Another big Anheuser trying to get through those guardian trees. Oh, just hits the tree about 150 outside of the basket. Here's Scott Burtard with his 2nd shot. And it flexes a little too hard, hits that large guardian tree on the left, about 80 feet out of the basket. Here is Ulibarri, Paul, for his upshot. He goes with a flick, which gets a great skip. Still short of the basket, however. So everyone is sitting to maybe about 80, closest 50 feet out. Great drive right down the middle. Very nice. Ulibarri. Scott Burtard.
Okay.
Ooh, got stable just at the end. It's Mitch Sonderfan. Good skip off the tree in the middle. McCabe. On the left-hand side, but down the fairway. So it looks like Mitch gained.
Fuck!
Mitch got a point on McCabe on that last hole. Paul and Scott pushed, to make it. Mitch has Eric by 1. Paul and Scott are tied with 1 each. Eric McCabe's upshot from his first drive on hole 4. Kept it nice and low. It is just about 30-40 feet from the pin, just by virtue of skip. It was a very nice shot. Ulibarri just had a fantastic bounce off the guardian trees to the left of the pin. He is about 10 feet to the left of the basket for his second shot. He's looking real good for a 3. Then we have a pretty good flick from Burtard, Scott Burtard. Looks like he wasn't super happy with it, but it's there. It's a good putt. McCabe to putt out. Gets a 3. Mitch must get a 3. I believe they all push. So we're at hole 5. We have a tied up game. We have Eric McCabe, Mitch Sonderfan both having one hole, and Paul Ulibarri and Scott Burtard each having 1. Beautiful drive. Ooh, big skip just short of the basket. Eric McCabe. Big hyzer. Big skip. Maybe about 25 feet from the basket. Big hyzer, big skip. Here we are, Paul Ulibarri making his putt for 2. This is that putt. Not too happy about that. Alright. Scott Burtard, the bird, taking the hole with a good putt. Eric McCabe, Mitch Sonderfan. Mitch to go first for his putt. And misses his bird. Not happy about that. Eric McCabe sinks his 2. Eric takes the hole. So here we are waiting on hole 6. As it stands now, Eric McCabe is in the lead against Mitch Sonderfan, 2-1. And Paul just gave away a stroke to a point to Scott Burtard. So Paul is at 1, Scott is at 2. Leading into the 6th hole, which is, I believe, 1,080 foot hole, one of the longest holes out here. Here we are at the end of hole 6. That is the 3rd shot for Paul Ulibarri. Scott Burtard is unfortunately has been staying on the right side of the rough and is sitting 3 in the rough over here. He will have to do some serious work to make some ground up and try and win the hole. We are now on hole 7, an interesting OB. It is now Eric McCabe 2, Mitch Sonderfan 2, Paul Ulibarri with 1, Scott Burtard with 2. That is OB. He did, however, cross inbounds. Paul Ulibarri, nice hyzer drive, safe.
Shot.
Mitch Sonderfan, a nice hyzer, going for that island inbounds. He is good. Eric McCabe, going for that. It's really a peninsula of inbounds rather than an island. And he is very safe. And here we are, hole 7.
Careful, I'll get you with the chair.
There's Paul Ulibarri for his second shot. Changing his disc selection. Big hyzer. It looks like. Oh yeah. Maybe 7 feet from the pin. Great upshot. Mitch Sonderfan. His third shot. Oh, almost hits the basket. He had an unfortunate second shot, hit the trees. But he is under the basket on his third shot at hole 7. Nice. And that is his third shot. Paul, his third shot. So Scott and Paul will push this hole. There's McCabe. That is his third shot. Mitch concedes the hole. McCabe advances with this hole taken. Here we are, hole 8. Paul Ulibarri, a big anhyzer over the trees. Finishing out. Ooh, with a roll. With a good roll. Very safe. Alright. Here's Scott Burtard. Looks like a backhand. Straight up the pipe. Ooh, push. Oh, yeah, right under the basket. Nice little skip right under the basket. We have a nice headwind, tailwind for our players down there. Here's Eric McCabe, the backhand, going a little over, a little past, but still. Now he does have the water behind him now in a putt, so that's definitely going to in a headwind coming from that direction. Mitch Sonderfan just hit a tree about 30 feet in front of him that put him back in the fairway very short. Ooh, good bid. Nice and safe. Guaranteed 3. So here's Ulibarri. Ulibarri going for his birdie on this hole. Very nice. So it looks like Eric McCabe and Mitch, if he makes this putt, they will push this hole. If she does, this is a push for them. And looks like Scott Burtard conceded. Here we are, hole 9, Paul Ulibarri. Oh, huge flick, way out of it. Scott Burtard, the flick, coming in hot. Oh, inbounds. Very nice. Here is Eric McCabe. A backhand drive. Not flipping as much, but safe. That little stone wall was just recently put in, and I'm sure McCabe is thankful for that. Mitch Sonderfan, again, not turning as much as he'd probably expect. Oh, and it didn't quite make the wall. So he will go from the drop zone on 9.